Gaming is looked at in so many ways. For some, it's their way of expression, a huge part of their lives, and for others, it's the problem and corrupts more than it helps. But like it or not, everyone has a game that they can look to. It means something different to us all. So I ask.
Grow up on many different games, and it was very critical to who I am as a person. I grew up on the Nintendo DS. It was my first console. I had the DS Lite. It was light pink. I had Brain Age, and I had all these different Walmart games, like every single Walmart game ever. And I was really into Pokemon, like an embarrassing amount. Pokemon Pearl, my entire life was there.
There are so many directions I could take this. I think my favorite gaming experiences are single player games, honestly, as much as I love like Melee and stuff. But like a good single player experience in a video game will make me feel like I just like lost a friend, or like I remember playing The Last of Us 2, and like after that game ended, I was so sad. I couldn't do anything. I was like depressed for like 2 months because it was like so harrowing, because it felt like I actually went on this journey and it was like all for nothing at the end of that game. Like it was for fucking nothing.
Video games, in my eyes, are, I believe, the most pure and complete forms of expression that we have in today's media. And not just for the actual player, but for the developers behind the games themselves. I mean, you think about why most people consume these forms of entertainment. You know, you're able to place yourself in the shoes of these fictional characters and think to yourself like, wow, I'm in this fictional world in which I can do anything I want, anything outside of the confines of the stresses of everyday life. I can own a home on an island, buy a raccoon.
Yeah, so I think it means like so many different things to just many different kinds of people. Like for me, it's primarily a way to escape and experience just many different types of things. Like it also depends on what stage of life that you're in at the moment and what you need. It's incredible, man. Like games are just amazing to me. They have this way of being able to transport you somewhere entirely different from your reality, and they let you feel the protagonist and they let you understand what they're going through. It's incredible, man. And this is exactly what led me to starting my YouTube channel originally. Like, if I can be a small part of sharing my experiences that I'm having with other people, then I'm absolutely happy to do it. Like, gaming should be shared with everyone.
The online gaming community opened the door to so many possibilities for me to make friendships. But you know, the popular games that involve big communities like Minecraft or Rust or Call of Duty, it gives myself and others the opportunity to make friends that, you know, we might not have a chance to make at school or at work.
I mean, you have this culmination of art and music and sound, design, cinema, all crammed into this interactive experience, and you're able to come home from the daily stresses of life, most of which is completely out of your control, and find this sense of accomplishment, something that you can physically manifest and say, yo, I can accomplish something today. I can butcher somebody's head off. Of course, I can't do that in real life, but I can do it in a video game.
Well, gaming, in the same way as something like music or film, is a type of art form. But unlike those other art forms, I think what makes video games especially unique is the fact that they're some of the only art forms where you have to physically interact with them instead of passively experiencing them. I think it becomes more personal. You become more personally attached to these characters that you're controlling on the screen, or these events that you're causing to happen within the game.
My two greatest, I guess, overall experiences in gaming probably come from Minecraft and DayZ. In Minecraft, I remember me and my best friend in real life, Jacob, spending hours and hours on this Minecraft world on his Xbox, and we called it Epicville. And we had this world for years, and me and him just spent so much time on that world, just hanging out, bros being bros, building stuff in Minecraft. It made a relationship with one of my close friends so much better.
I would say the games I connect to most would be Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and Metal Gear Rising. they all offer something different, but it's those different things that they offer that I think make them really special. They're very clearly different games, but they all have different things that I do like. I could be craving a particular one at any particular time. I can go to them, and when I'm bored with that, I can go to the next one. Those games, yeah, those are my go-to games. Those connect with me a lot.
Gaming is very key to some of the things that I did. All of middle school, I would want people to play Rock Band. I did not care if they didn't like it. I liked it. Everyone was going to enjoy it. Rock Band was like a key game for me. I have like all of them. I still have my DS and I still play it sometimes. I'll go through bouts, like 2 days where all I do is Tamagotchi Life and Nintendogs and like a little bit of Pokemon, but I didn't really like Pokemon Moon, so I don't play it.
But DayZ, on the other hand, was a game where almost nobody I knew played it, but I had just as much fun from running into random people I didn't know. DayZ was the game that got me into wanting to do YouTube and streaming because of how much I loved meeting random people and interacting with them and messing around or sweating my ass off and getting kills. But, you know, both Minecraft and DayZ did that for me. And I mean, like, there's a bunch of other games I play too, but gaming helped me build relationships that I had before and that I didn't have before. It's about relationships with people.
I moved away from a lot of my friends where I grew up and my family to someplace entirely new. And the game that I found myself really gravitating towards was Final Fantasy 15. And I know it kind of gets a lot of shit for various reasons, but I've always loved that game, man. Like the camaraderie between each of the characters, it's just so freaking infectious. And it always reminded me of me and my friends. I think that game is exactly what I needed at that time. Nowadays, I find myself playing a lot more platformers and like multiplayer games because I'm looking for that challenge and I'm looking for that sense of kind of belonging that I strongly seek out.
I didn't really have a great school life when I was younger, so if I was angry or upset, you know, I'd come home, play some Planet Coaster, and it, you know, chilled me out a bit, made me relax, so I appreciate that a lot. You could say I own a lot to gaming because it's given me the opportunity to make a lot of friends, and I appreciate every single one of them, so yeah.
For me, it's always been the community aspect of video games that I've enjoyed the most. You know, something about seeing grown-ass adults on Twitter getting mad over Chris Pratt voicing Mario in a children's movie is super funny to me. Some of my fondest memories with video games just include being there for big events like that, you know, like the Switch launching, or Smash Bros. Ultimate being revealed, or just Nintendo Directs in general. I feel like no matter what, there's always something to talk about regarding video games, even if there's really nothing that exciting going on at all, you know? Like, I made a whole video about wet tricks because at the time, I really had nothing better to do. And that's the thing with video games. I feel like they've just always given me something to do, whether that be, you know, making stupid videos about them or just actually playing them.
I wish that people were still into gaming like how everyone used to be. Like, you used to bring out a party game, like Jackbox and 1-2 Switch, or like Wii Party. People would lose their minds. Now it's kind of lukewarm. I can't really picture me never playing video games again. I think they're always gonna linger around. I wish I had a little more time. I just bought the Skywalker Saga, and I'm trying to get through A New Hope like as fast as possible. I'm trying to actually play it. I don't really have the time to like really sit down and get into it and enjoy it like I used to.
Well, I didn't just get into game development right away. The first thing that actually caught my attention was the music that played in games. Because music is another thing I'm very passionate about. It's definitely a close second in terms of my favorite art forms. But the way that video game music is made, there's a very particular way you make that versus something you hear on the radio, like hip hop or rap or whatnot. In terms of game development, I started dabbling into that around sophomore year of high school. I worked on like, I wouldn't even call them projects, just more like just me experimenting with the engine, because I'm still using Game Maker Studio 2, but I started with that as well. But as I practiced using the engine more, it eventually led to my current project, which I'm developing now, which is Oblivion Eagle. But yeah, I really do owe video games and the music that plays in them as like the reason for me wanting to pursue them as a career option.
I like the video game like rhetoric. Like I use that kind of stuff in my songs. Like Press Start, this song is like about ignoring your problems and playing video games. Like that's what it's about. It's about like not really dealing with things in a relationship and instead watching Netflix and playing video games all day.
it doesn't have to do with playing the video game itself. It happens with all the experiences you have because of the video game. For example, all the incredible connections I've made because I played a video game. I've met so many amazing people, so many friends just because I played a video game. Also, I wouldn't have started my channel if it weren't for video games. And if I didn't start my channel, I wouldn't be the same person I am today.
Honestly, the Halo soundtrack, like, it made me like notice that like soundtracks in games were like a thing. Like, it was one of the first games I remember playing where it was like, it was part of the narrative, where it was like, once you hear that theme, it's like, oh, like, this is some serious shit. And it just like, I feel like that definitely made me appreciate music more in video games, which just increased my appreciation for music in general. Amnesia, like with very subtle music in it, made me more subtle with my approach to some things. I think that made me like orchestral stuff a lot. I want a violin in every song that I write, but I haven't done that yet. I've sampled like the start sound on Melee before for some stuff that I never really used. Sampling, there's a lot of great like textures and stuff in video games that I love. The weird stigma around gaming is so stupid because gaming is not a genre.
You could still do the same thing for film and music, but there's definitely a clear end to each of those things. Whereas with the video game, it's as long as you want to make it. You can indulge yourself in these worlds for as long as you want to.
There's no other form of entertainment that combines this level of art, interactivity, and community quite like video games can.
And that's what video games mean to me.
But yeah, I guess that's what gaming means to me.